the channel. Hope you had a good weekend. So there has been a few things coming out about what would have been another post-credit scene in Black Adam, and the director, and I believe Harm Garcia, and I can't remember, someone else from Seven Bucks Production, talking about some of the things that they kind of had to cut out of the movie for runtime and to have a PG-13 rating. So first I'm going to talk about another post-credit scene. This one would have teased Dr. Fate's return. It says the opening shot reveals that the helmet sitting atop sand. A hand then comes into the frame to pick it up, but the scene quickly cuts to black before the mystery individual can be revealed. So I think it's enough time has passed now to, talk about spoilers since the movie came out, but just in case, I will give a spoiler alert. At the end in the third act, Dr. Fate seemingly sacrifices himself when they are fighting Sabak. And then Hawkman uses the helmet to kind of trick Sabak into thinking that he kills him, but he doesn't, into thinking that he kills Hawkman. And then, Black Adam comes and they defeat him. But, so, we kind of leave the movie thinking that Dr. Fate sacrificed himself, but you might think, okay, since they introduced these characters in this movie, why would they kill him so fast? And he was actually a standout for a lot of people. I think he was an awesome live action character. People would like to see Dr. Fate more moving forward, right? And they've talked a lot about the introduction of the JSA in this movie and wanting to expand on the JSA moving forward in the DC universe. There's also a statement that Pierce Brosnan made about the future of Dr. Fate. He said, "I think the door is open. I honestly have no idea where this will go. I just know I'm very proud of the work playing Dr. Fate and honored being part of the DC comic book world." That's from USA Today. Like I said, they have talked a lot about expanding the DC universe, using the JSA characters and bringing in other characters. Hopefully we get to see Hawkgirl as part of some kind of as part of Hawkman's story being expanded upon. But just getting this little bit of Dr. Fate in Black Adam, I for one want to see more of him. If they were going to tease his return in a post-credit scene with the helmet seeming to choose, giving us the impression that the helmet is choosing someone else and now someone else is going to take up the mantle of being Dr. Fate, that would have been pretty cool. I would definitely be interested to see who else they would cast as Dr. Fate moving forward. If it's the case that maybe Pierce Brosnan only was thinking maybe he only wanted to do one movie, maybe he didn't want to have a huge commitment to the character, because a lot of times these superhero roles or these comic book movie roles can have a large commitment because of several movies that they are going to appear in. But he did say that the door is open and he still is not really sure where it's going to go. So maybe that's why they didn't include it at the end, because maybe they're trying to figure out, would it be Pierce Brosnan or someone else taking up the mantle, and just maybe he didn't actually physically sacrifice himself. They just made it seem that way at the end of the movie, and he did that as a way to defeat Sabak because he had mentioned seeing a lot of, seeing the future and figuring out a way for them to defeat him, and that was the way that he came up with. So I'm also going to read some quotes talking about some other things that they took out of the movie to make it to keep it a PG-13 rating. Black Adam has aggression and violence. We did have to make a lot of edits. Actually, there are some personal moments that we really love, but we had to let them go. And I think we have 4 or 5 of those scenes. At one point, we had about 10, and we were able to find some compromise with the MPAA on that. It took 4 rounds with the MPAA, and movie just got the PG-13. There are going to be some features for when we release on home video and streaming. There'll be some cool elements on that too. One of the great challenges to make a movie with Black Adam and JSA was very tricky in the edit. We shot a lot of footage to really giving the audience a kind of backstory, assuming that they know all of these characters, Hawkman and his mythology. Same thing with Fate, and we have some incredible scenes between Smasher and Cyclone, and some of our favorite scenes in the movie are Hawkman and Fate. But there are a good handful of scenes that we did have to cut just to make sure we were servicing Black Adam. That was from Bo Flynn and Hiram Garcia from Seven Bucks Production. Quintessa Swindell said, I was so upset. There was some deleted scenes. There was a little bit in the beginning with my character that I was just like, no, it would have been developed a little bit more. I really like Smasher and Cyclone scene. It was kind of both of us. Jean-Colette Serra, who is the director, said, a lot of it is experience and having done a lot of action sequences through the years that I've had to cut down because there were not enough character moments. So you really have to think about character first and what defines character, and if you know each character and you know their arc, you have to show that through action, not only words, you try to infuse the action with those decisions, and it becomes a little bit of a puzzle because what might help a character might not help another character. Luckily, the action sequences look really good because not a lot was left on the cutting room floor. So those statements from Seven Bucks production team and the director and Quintessa Swindell, who played Cyclone, it makes a lot of sense because if you watch my review, I mentioned that it seemed like there really wasn't hardly anything to give any backstory for the JSA. And like they mentioned, they kind of shot those scenes assuming that the audience knows some of the lore or the backstory for specifically maybe Hawkman and Dr. Fate. Cyclone and Atom Smasher, I think, are maybe not as characters that maybe a lot of fans might not be too familiar with as far as their backstory. But they did mention Hawkman and Dr. Fate, assuming that they assumed a lot of fans would probably know a lot about their backstory and lore. But they really didn't say anything about the backstory or lore for Dr. Fate and Hawkman, and very little thing, just very quick pieces of dialogue for Cyclone and Atom Smasher. So it makes sense that there were, a lot of things that they took out as far as personal moments and scenes with Atom Smasher and Cyclone, because you could kind of feel that that was missing from the movie. And I think that more time for the movie, that would have, or maybe not even just, maybe not necessarily more time, maybe some more time, but maybe some time given attention to this instead of this. Like that could have helped expand on the JSA members a little bit. But I do agree with the director that the action sequences were probably one of the best parts of the movie. They were beautifully shot. They were exciting. They were entertaining. So it does seem like, they didn't really cut a lot of those things out. It was more of the character development stuff that they cut out of the movie. But I'm glad they said that there will be a lot of features to look forward to on the home release for the movie. I would like to see what that includes. And they said it took 4 rounds with the MPAA to get a PG-13 rating. So there must have been quite a bit more violence and graphic things of graphic nature for them to have to go back and forth 4 times to get a PG-13 rating. I did know that there was originally a rated R rating from the MPAA, but I didn't realize they had to go back and forth that many times to get the PG-13 rating. So that was pretty interesting to hear as well. I wanted to share those things about Black Adam since we're still, still kind of a hot topic. And Dr. Fate was a standout for the movie for a lot of people and one of my favorite live action characters in the movie. Hawkman as well. I hope they really do something with those characters, a series, or I really want them to expand on those characters for sure and see Hawkgirl. That would be really awesome. So thank you guys for watching. Check out the many videos you might have missed over the past few days. A lot of Henry Cavill Superman discussion. So check those out if you're interested, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you will be so you'll be notified when I post a new video. And I appreciate all the support. Thanks, guys.